name's Matt McCray. I'm the director for The Story of My Life, a beautiful two-person musical that I'm directing this season, and I wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit about it. The Story of My Life is a touching chronicle of key moments of the lives of Thomas and Alvin, two lifelong best friends who grew up in a very, very, very small town. And as they age, the adorable oddities that brought these two kids together begin to drive them apart as adults. Thomas becomes an award-winning writer, and Alvin takes over management of the bookstore that his father owns within the small town. But when Alvin dies, Thomas comes back to give his eulogy, and that's where the story begins. As kids, these two characters had a pact that whoever outlived the other one would give the eulogy at their funeral. And so now Thomas is tasked with coming up with precisely what to say at the funeral of his best friend. And now it sounds like it's really heavy because it's funeral stuff, but it's not. It's also very funny. It's a coming-of-age story about two wonderfully strange kids. It takes place inside of Thomas's head as the vision of his now deceased friend appears to him in order to help him figure out what to say in this eulogy. It's mostly solos. The music is tricky, it's challenging. It has echoes of influence from Sondheim's Sunday in the Park with George, where music functions in a highly narrative manner, following naturalistic thought changes and punctuating them musically. The two men in the show go back and forth. It's like a living argument, and Thomas wrestles with precisely what to say about Alvin, but really, he's struggling with his own self-worth. We'll be creating this musical in a new way through online Zoom rehearsals, which means that the actors are in their homes, I'm in my home, stage manager is in her home, Robin, the music director is in her home, and we're all preparing the show remotely. At one point, we will come together to create tracks of the actors' voices that are performance tracks, and then we'll mix those together to create a, quote, Broadway album of our production. And then that production, or that album, will be used as the track for when we eventually land at the Chance Theater in a green screen environment where we will film the show. Once that's done, we will go into a post-production process where we will edit the show into a film. So it's actually a long process, but the process of rehearsing it is shorter than most because there's so much post-production and final touches that need to happen. But it's also very exciting, and it's like a whole new art form in 2021. The best part about it is that this musical, Story of My Life, is well suited for this new art form. Whether we're exploring the playful, childish imagination of a kid who's exploring the power of the butterfly effect, or we're looking at the palpable final moments of two friends in conflict as they struggle with their own changing identities, this musical chronicles the highs, the lows, and the key moments of lives well lived and the value of a life-changing friendship. I'm excited to do this show. I'm excited to do this show now, and I'm excited to get back to doing theater. So I hope you'll come see it. I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for listening to hear a little bit about the story of my life.